would you still want that car if you knew it was going to cost you a leg?
True.
If you knew it was going to cost you your family, if you knew it was going to cost you your marriage, if you knew it was going to cost you the next 20 years of your life.
The other side of that is when you know you have value, you don't throw your pearls among swine. And that's a rough way of saying it, but ultimately it's you don't deserve my value.
Yeah.
So I need to remove myself from the situation.
Welcome to the Warriors Way Home podcast.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Warriors Way Home podcast. I'm your host, Edmund. It's my brother, Travis. And we are here to help put the fight back into men. And what we mean by that is that we're trying to equip men with the best tactics possible to help themselves kind of navigate through this world, bring about their true masculinity, and like we said, put the fight back into men.
Nice. So today we're going to start digging a little more into the 21 principles of Dokkodo, going over 3 more of the principles we've been talking about, that a little bit more as we've been going through this process. You know, basically taking some of these principles from ancient times, warrior mindset, different things like that, and kind of integrating them into today's, society, trying to, because they have great rules to live by. It's some things we forgot, things that, our daddies probably should have taught us, our grandpas probably should have taught us, but they might not have known.
Right.
It's one of those things that kind of gets lost to time, but, you'd be surprised how something that was written so long ago can, be so valid today,
right,
and be so needed, in a lot of ways. So, it's just helping us build that mindset and kind of tapping back into that warrior mindset of things. But, in a different kind of way than some of the things you may hear today.
Absolutely. So today we are in previous episodes, we've gone through about 1 through 6, kind of taking them in 3-step strides and making it digestible for you guys. And today we're going to go through 7 through 9. So if you haven't had a chance to check out our previous episodes, please do. About every other episode, we're going through these and kind of giving ourselves a break as well, going through other topics through those intermediate episodes. So go back and check them out on our YouTube channel. And like I said, today we're going to go through 7 through 9.
Yep, definitely worth a listen. All right, so let's get into the first one, number 7.
Yes, so number 7 is never be jealous. Indian mystics have likened jealousy to be a poison in the heart. When we are jealous, we adopt an ungrateful disposition and focus on what is lacking in our lives. The truth is that life is abundant and each breath we are granted is a blessing. So, that kind of encompasses a lot of what I personally look at as jealousy as. It is a poison.
Yeah.
Anytime you are jealous of another human being, what they have, what they may have material or just relationships in their lives, anything that you see that anybody else has that you want, it arouses that kind of greed aspect of you, or that envy. And these are things that you don't want to necessarily give into, because when you do, you look at your own life as something that's lacking, and it stirs a different set of emotions. It can make you angry. It can make you sad. It can make you feel like you're behind in life. And none of these things are true. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their own journey. Everybody has their own path that they need to go through, and being jealous of somebody else's material things or relationships or whatever they have in their life that sets them apart, or that you see as being different or other than you, it should give you some energy to maybe go out and seek those things, but it shouldn't make you jealous necessarily.
Absolutely. There's a very famous philosopher that said, ain't no such thing as a life that's better than yours.
Right. Was that Tupac?
It's J. Cole.
J. Cole. That's right. Oh my God. Get my card pulled for that one. Yeah. I was like, what?
It does sound like some Tupac.
Right. No, I love that song too. I think I know exactly what song you're talking about. It's very true. It should be, when we look at rich people, for example, especially with social media, they go out and flex all the time. They purposefully show you these things so that you feel some type of way. And for some people, maybe it's motivation. Maybe they're trying to get you to get up and do the things that help you get that yourself.
Yeah.
But a lot of it isn't. A lot of it is just for show, with rap videos for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like when we grew up, the tip drill videos and whatever you want to look at. As far,
we're not allowed to talk about that. We're not allowed to talk about that BET Uncut. We're going to probably not allowed to talk about that one.
You know what I mean? It's just like whatever that you are looking at that inspires that envy toward you, or even just people just on the street, your boss, if they drive a nice car at the job that you work at. You know what I'm saying? There's always something, all this input that we have that says that you're lesser than, especially with social media. You don't want to give into those things. You want to set yourself apart, but you're not trying to set yourself above anybody else. You know?
And there's a big difference between admiration and jealousy. You know, that's the big thing. You see somebody driving, you know, in a fancy car or has a certain kind of lifestyle, and you kind of like, you know, man, look, you know, you look at that a certain kind of way. It's different than somebody who's jealous. You know, it's like, so I just want to make that distinction, you know, because some people think, you know, admiration is same as jealousy, and it's not. It's two different things. Admiration motivates you. You know, jealousy will kind of hold you back. Right. From going after those things.
Absolutely. Has there ever been a time where you felt like you were actually jealous of somebody else?
Oh, man. Yeah, to be honest, absolutely. For sure. You know, I've definitely seen even family stuff. You know, it's like, if I'm to be honest, I've seen even the dynamic between how my sister was raised and how I was raised, and there's definitely jealousy there. There's like absolutely no doubt about it. There was jealousy there, you know, and even talking to her now, there was jealousy in her end towards me, which I'm like, how the fuck are you jealous of the way I was raised? Like, this is way different. But you know, to each their own. You know, it's different things. There was different pieces of it to where she felt more jealous of me. And it goes the same way with siblings, you know, it happens like that. So, but
especially with siblings.
You know, and I felt a certain type of way about, you know, that she was treated better than I was. And there was definitely a jealousy aspect to it, you know, for sure.
Yeah. As somebody who was, who had their parents separated early, you know, like I was young enough to remember, and then I would see other people's parents and like, even if they were together, or rather if they were together and I had a really good parents, I mean, don't get me wrong, but just the fact that you have a 2-parent household sometimes is enough, not knowing what's on the inside of that 2-parent household. You know, there could be, you know, alcohol abuse, drug abuse. There could be, you know, parents beating on each other, all types. You don't know. All you see is some type of cohesive family unit, or at least more cohesive than yours. But, you know, everybody has downsides to their story. And because you don't know what the inside of that person's perspective truly looks like, you don't, that jealousy can be misplaced. You know what I mean? So there's always an opportunity to speak with another person and figure out if that's truly whatever you're jealous of it just might be skin deep. You know what I'm saying? It could be, you know, hell from where they're sitting, or it could be all roses, or it could just be a mix of both. But it's like, when people say, if somebody gave you $1 million, and as opposed to you earning your $1 million, there's a different appreciation for that money, or at least there should be. You might be more spoiled, or you might feel a sense of entitlement if somebody just gives you $1 million. But if you earn it, you know what it was like to not have it and then go out and achieve it. So there's a different energy attached to that $1 million, and you might be more willing to give because you earned it yourself, as opposed to just getting it out of the sky or winning the lottery and things like that.
Easy come, easy go.
Easy come, easy go. You know, some people will hold on to that, and then it's like, oh, look at me, I'm Flash, and I'm better than you, da da da. But it's like people who come from a place of struggle to begin with, they tend to be more giving, and then are able to help their community a bit more because they know what it's like to not have. And then when you go back and give, now there's still gonna be people, you know, in that scenario that they're going to be jealous of you. And the fact that you are, they're going to want what you have, and then they expect you to give it to them because you both came from lack and struggle. But that's the flip side of it, where you want to give to those who are going to be appreciative of it, and not necessarily those who are just having their hand out. You know what I'm saying? I love following Lil Duval on Instagram because he's very much about that. You know what I'm saying? Like if people, and we'll wrap this up, and people come out and try to get handouts from him, he's like, nah, he cuts that off immediately. But he'll put on events for his hometown. He'll put on events for his hood and stuff like that, which is cool. You know, but it should be, these things that you see people have should be fuel, not, you know, burning you up inside. Pretty much.
For sure. So my big takeaway with this one is you can't be jealous and grateful at the same time. You know, it's impossible to hold. That's kind of like being angry and happy at the same time. You can't hold these, you know, those two emotions in your body and in your experience at the same time. You have to give up one. You know, it's like, so if you think about it, it's like anytime you feel jealous, you're not grateful for all the stuff you already have. You know, you may be looking at somebody in their new car like you said, you don't know what they went through to get that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, you know, they might be driving that new car and they hop out and you figure out they got one leg.
True.
And they lost that in war.
Right.
And they got money
right.
from losing that leg. And that's what they spent the money with.
Right.
It's like, now, question, would you still want that car if you knew it was going to cost you a leg?
True.
If you knew it was going to cost you your family, if you knew it was going to cost you your marriage,
right?
If you knew it was going to cost you the next 20 years of your life,
your mental state,
would you still want that car? It doesn't even mean that's something negative. It could be he might have put in 20 years of work, you know, building a business, building an empire to be able to buy himself that car. He may have had the money 10 years ago to get it, but put it off and put it off and put it off until he could do, you know, maybe do it 3 times. And he's like, now I can get it.
Right.
You know, that delayed gratification. Are you willing to devote 20 years to accomplish that thing? So don't just, you know, take it for face value, you know.
Right.
But you can't be grateful, like I said, at the same time as you're being jealous. It's just, it's an impossible thing to do. So when you start feeling jealous about something, maybe take a look at everything that you have, because there's somebody out there that's looking at you the same way that somebody else is looking at you. You know, it's like, even with all our problems, there's somebody who would be jealous, who would love to have your fucking problems. Absolutely love it. There's some kid in Cambodia right now who would love to have, you know, you complaining about how high the cost of eggs are, because he may have never been able to buy a fucking egg.
Facts.
You know, at least not one that's not rotten.
It's like,
you know, it's like, so you're complaining about how the cost of bread, and he's wondering if eating this bread will make him sick or not, but you're complaining about the cost of it.
That reminds me, there was a thing I saw in, I don't know if it was high school or college, but there was a village somewhere in Africa that, like, these people don't have food to the point where all they have is like clay and water and like salt, and they have to mix that together. And then that's just what they eat. They make like these mud pancakes.
Bake it, yeah.
And they have to. You've seen that, So you just have to bake it.
You can actually eat clay. It does have some nutritional value, you know.
Not a lot,
but it's not something you should. That shouldn't be the only thing.
And that's like that's like the only thing they have.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And then like, but then,
and how many of you guys can have that experience? How many? Can you even imagine having that experience?
No,
I can't even imagine having that experience.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and yet we're complaining and jealous of all these other people, when these people will be jealous just to see you eating some like $1 McDonald's cheeseburger.
And then there's and then you see videos of people who throw away like dump trucks of food just because it's expired or whatever. They don't even try to donate it or anything. They don't do anything positive with it. But
well, unfortunately, you know, the society we live in doesn't allow you to, because there's so many rules built on that they have to go through a certain process of doing it. But that's a whole other topic.
It costs a lot of money to them too.
It honestly will almost cost you more to feed some of these people, which is just, it's ridiculous that that's a thing in the U.S. But that's a whole other thing. That's for sure. Yeah, that's we can go down the wormhole on that one.
For sure.
Yeah, and like I said, if somebody else had your life, they would be super grateful. Is like, you know, they wouldn't even shoot, you know, not even shooting for that life that somebody else has that you're jealous of. Somebody else is jealous of you. You know, there are people in this world who would pay to have your problems.
You should be able to take an audit of your life at that point and basically just say, all right, if these are areas that I'm lacking in, and if I feel a certain way about that lack, what should I now do to fix that? You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't have to be anything profound, like go start a business or, you know, go run 10 miles so you can just be in shape. But it's like, all right, if I feel this way, take some time to yourself and just be like, okay, what can I do to get rid of this feeling? Why do I truly feel that way? Just do some investigating. Find some questions or ask some questions of yourself, or get a partner. You find somebody that you know that it's like on a similar tip. If you're both kind of struggling together, or it's somebody who, if you have friends that are more, maybe like a bit more affluent than you, or like maybe higher up than you in something, just anything, ask them, well, how can I get to this point?
That's a good one.
That kind of thing.
Just being jealous once you ask.
Yeah, ask.
Hey, man, how did I get like you, bro?
Exactly.
How did I get like you?
Like, who gave you this? Like, no, I gave this to myself. This is how you can give this to yourself. And those are the people that you want around you, people that will show you the way, not just show you the gold. You know what I'm saying? This is where I had to go dig to go get this gold. This is where I had to go. This is the bank that I went to that gave me the right percentage to have this money, the return on my interest or whatever. You know what I'm saying? These are, be constructive about that. That's a spark that people don't really realize. It's like that jealousy. All right, you want nice things? Who doesn't want nice things? Go get you some nice things.
Yeah.
But how are you gonna get these nice things?
Yeah. And here's something I did is like I took a different approach. I remember one day I was driving down the road, man. I was just having not a good fucking day, just not. It's like, and I was in a mood. I was like, man, felt like everything was kind of going wrong. I'm like, man, why is it so hard?
Right.
It's like, why is it so hard? I was like, I'm actually trying to do the right thing and help people and do this different things, like build a business, all these things. And you got dudes out here selling fucking drugs, and they get you drive around in the car.
Yeah.
They got the girls, they got the lifestyle. It's all easy for them. Where you got other people who, not to say aren't as good as me, but aren't trying to who just put out a mediocre product.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like, you get all this fortune and fame and everything. So I'm sitting there trying to actually, create something that actually helps people and not just do it just for the money. I'm fucking struggling. And I had to stop myself. I was like, I said, Travis, what the fuck are you complaining about? I said, while you're sitting there complaining about something like maybe not being able to pay, your rent or your car note or pay for your fucking insurance, or you can't go out this weekend like you wanted to. There's somebody in a fucking cage right now getting beat.
Facts.
I was like, so you're complaining about this,
yeah,
and there's somebody else is like this right now. What the fuck do you have to complain about?
Right.
What you're jealous of who?
Right. For real, because
it's like there's somebody struggling to eat right now. Like, hey, if I drink this water, I might die. But if I don't drink the water, I know I'm gonna fucking die.
Right.
And you're complaining about what right now? You're jealous of who? For what reason? Get over yourself.
Yeah.
Get the fuck over yourself.
And it's like,
and sometimes you just gotta kick yourself in the ass with that kind of thing, man.
Sometimes when you look at people who are doing what you consider less than what you're doing and have a way higher that's high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not even really a reward because they know their time is limited when they're doing shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're driving around in a nice car because you know you can get popped at any time. Yeah. You're hanging out with these women because they want the things that you have. They don't really want you. They want to be around the money and the cash and then the bottle service and all that stuff and the drugs and whatnot. If that's the case the example that we're going with. Yeah.
And and people have those moments. Mine was more just like there are people who aren't trying to do the right thing, who are right now living this way. And I had to really get my head out of that. I was like, bro, it's like that is not the thing.
It's short lived.
That is not the thing you should be worried about right now. Yeah. This is like not at all.
For sure.
Yep.
So the next one, number 8 that we have is never let yourself be saddened by separation. Everything in this life is transient and subject to decay and death, like we just said.
Oh, yeah.
By maintaining our awareness of the eternal present moment, the reality of this universal truth will become clear and bolster our spirits in times of distress and heartache. Man, so to me, this really sounded like don't be attached to anything, because the same way how living that fast life ends quickly.
Yeah,
life ends quickly in general in the grand scheme of the what we perceive as time in the universe. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of time.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We spend so much time thinking about what we don't have instead of cultivating the things that we want, or just being appreciative for the things that we do have.
Oh, for sure.
But at the same time, we shouldn't be attached to the things that we do have because we know they're not going to be here for very long. Whether that be family, friends, cars, clothes, the bank account itself. You know what I'm saying? Like these things can be transferred to other people, but it still has a shelf life.
Yeah.
If you want to watch those videos of like the food decaying, you know what I'm saying? Or
except for McDonald's. McDonald's doesn't decay.
That doesn't decay at all.
Real food.
It's not real food.
So, slight tangent there.
Right.
My bad.
But I mean, like in a matter of days, you know what I'm saying? You buy something off the shelf that's produce, that's fresh and crisp and all that stuff. Yeah. But by the end of the week, not even before the end of the week, a banana goes bad. You know what I'm saying? All of this is all that we do is we come from dust and we go back to dust.
Well, think about it this way, and I don't know how many people think about this, but the minute you're born, you start dying.
You ever seen Soul Man with Samuel Jackson and Bernie Mac? Yeah. He said, from the first slap and cry, we all start to die.
Oh, man.
It's crazy.
It's like a timer starts ticking immediately. Boom. The minute first breath, that time starts ticking to your last one.
And if you don't breathe for like more than a few minutes, that clock is way shorter. It's like one of those thought experiments where it's like if you your body starts to panic at that point. But like I have a friend, she's a neighbor of mine at the old place I was before I moved. I'm still in contact with her, but she's a prime example of somebody who knows that their time is limited because she has a lot of health issues. You know, she smoked forever, but also she just life in general causes you to, whatever that you're doing now will wear you down eventually. You know, and she just can't wrap her head around it. You know, why am I the one that's going through these issues? And it's like, well, you have to take it, like, again, you take an audit of your life. What have you done up to this point? But especially in your youth, you have to take advantage of your youth. You got to take advantage of the fact that you're able to do whatever you want now, and do the best that you can to take care of yourself for that longevity. Because it wasn't that long ago that your life expectancy was like 30, 35. You know what I'm saying? We've with technology, we've been able to stretch that out. But there's always the chance of, okay, I'm planning to live till 80, 90, maybe 100 years old, but you know, life, it's not promised at all. You know, you can get into a car accident, you can, you know, chew something the wrong way, whatever you are digesting itself, whatever you're drinking, like you were saying with the water.
Yeah, you can kill the wrong guy's dog.
You can kill the wrong guy's dog. Your environment is trying to take you out on a constant basis. Just because we're in a modern society. I mean, people, you can go to the fucking grocery store or to a school and it's the same result. You know what I'm saying? So, and that gets a little morbid, but the main point being is that by not being attached to the things that we have material now, we get a chance to cultivate that inner stability, that by not being so attached to material things and stuff and even people, you get to be more secure in yourself. And so that you are prepared for that death, that you are prepared for whatever the afterlife may be, or at least the moment where you know your time is like, even you have an actual clock now. Then you can be at peace with that, because that's all we really have at the end of the day is that once you are at peace with once you are actually at peace with the concept of death, then you enjoy life more, and then you can get more out of it that way.
For sure. One of my takes on it is, you know, I've always heard something that, you know, people and things are in your life for a moment, a season, or a reason.
Right.
And one thing that definitely made that very apparent to me was actually the passing of my niece. She was 5 when she passed away, and it hit hard. You know, it hit hard. And you know, things around with the family weren't exactly cohesive between the two sides of the family, and it showed up in the I'm not gonna get into too many details because I don't want to put anybody on blast. I kind of want to, but I'm not going to. But things weren't very cohesive. You know, my brother was destroyed by this. You know, just point blank period, was, as you know, to be expected.
Right.
And then, you know, things at the funeral weren't great, and let's just say Travis almost set it off in the funeral. I'm just gonna be real. Some stuff happened that I was ready to turn the place out. You know, absolutely. I felt, you know, very disrespected to my brother. I did not like the way things went down, and I almost took it to a place that it shouldn't have gone. But when I got, and I you know, they asked if anybody else want to speak, and I was like, oh, me, I got you. And I walked up there, and as I got up there, everything in me shifted when I saw that casket. It was like, you know, she came down and like put her hand on my shoulder, and I could feel her, and I was like, and all of a sudden shame hit, just all of a sudden, and she made me realize that I learned so much from this little girl in the short time that she was here. That one, I shouldn't have been sad about her being gone. She was at peace now, but also, you know, there was a lesson in that I could take away on how she approached the world. She didn't approach the world with anger. If somebody did something wrong to her, she didn't approach them with anger. She approached them with love. And in that moment, it completely switched for me. And I couldn't be sad that she was gone, because I wouldn't have got that lesson in that moment. And it was such an important lesson for me that, one, this is a very short time that we're here. And two, if I had known what I know now, I would have spent so much more time around her. It's like, but you don't know that you don't have that time. Right. That's the biggest thing. Is like, so yeah, you know, why you shouldn't be saddened when, these things happen and everything like that. But you should definitely try and make the most of your life and the people around you. The other piece of it that really hits me is when people want to, the other part of it, another extreme, when people want to exit your life, let them.
True.
Not necessarily, and I'm talking about when people pass away and people die.
Right.
But when people want to leave your life and walk out that door, let them.
Mm-hmm.
Let them. Because
it's hard to do too, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it is because you feel a certain way about it, and it definitely hurts.
Mm-hmm.
But the universe may be protecting your value from them.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a quote from a lady, Jamie Lima, billionaire, everything like that. But she writes about value and everything like that. She said that rejection is God's protection.
Mm-hmm.
That somebody rejecting you is actually him protecting you so that they don't see your value.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody is willing to walk out of your life, it means that they don't see a certain value, and they probably shouldn't, because if they did, they would probably take advantage of it.
Facts.
So if somebody wants to exit your life, let them.
Mm-hmm.
Because whoever you are at that moment, or whoever you're gonna be, wasn't meshed with that person.
Right.
If they stayed, you might not become who you are right now. Right. If certain people stayed in my life, I probably would not be where I am right now, or at least not as far, and it wouldn't be as easy for me to be me as it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to think about, oh man, how's this person going to take this? How's this person going to react to who I am, or the things I say, or the things I do, or me wanting to make this move? I'd have to think about how and make my steps fit more into their path when it's not. That wasn't supposed to be my path. My path is supposed to be this.
Mm-hmm.
And because they left, now I can do this. But if they had stayed, I probably wouldn't be able to.
For sure. I actually had a conversation with my wife just the other night, or the other morning, where we were going over karma. Mm-hmm. I was of the mind, I ghosted people. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we weren't meshing for some reason, yeah. And it was childish to me at that point, mm-hmm. Or rather, in retrospection, it was childish, because when you ghost somebody, you don't give them the chance to figure out what they did wrong or how the situation could have been fixed. I would just walk out. And unfortunately, it was a learned behavior from one of my family members. Because when there's the other side of that is when you have value, mm-hmm. you don't throw your pearls among swine. And that's a rough way of saying it, but ultimately sure. it's you don't deserve my value. Yeah. So I need to remove myself from the situation. And sometimes that's not answering calls, not answering the door, whatever it is. It's just like, but also that doesn't give them the chance to get any growth from that. Yeah. They also might not be ready for that.
For sure.
But you are protecting yourself by doing that. And there was a situation where me and my friend, I thought I was over the situation. Mm-hmm. We were joking about the situation, but they had said something to me that let me know that I wasn't over it. And I was like, something snapped in me, and I was like, I need to leave. And it wasn't anger. It wasn't necessarily sadness. It was, this is no longer my path. Yeah. I need to find another path. Mm-hmm. And it was that simple. Mm-hmm. But what that does, and one of my notes that I wrote down was, it encourages individuals to embrace change and develop resilience, and it's emotional resilience. Mm-hmm. When somebody walks out of your life, or you walk out of somebody else's life, it's showing you have the strength to separate yourself from bad behavior. Yeah. Whether it's you're the problem or they're the problem, mm-hmm. and you now have a chance to fix it. You are correcting your path. Yeah. It's painful, but you now have a chance to figure out where you went wrong, yeah. and how you are going to be of better service to other people down the line.
Mm-hmm. And last bit I'll give you guys before we move on. Mm-hmm. Don't chase them.
Do not chase them.
I'm just going to tell you from personal experience and a lot of painful lessons. Mm-hmm. Do not chase people who choose to exit your life. Mm-hmm. Do not chase them. Let them go.
Girlfriends, wives, husbands, family, boyfriends, friends, and family.
Let them go and move on. It's going to hurt. It's not going to be fun. You're going to want to contact them. Yeah. You're going to see reasons like, oh, well, it's a sign that I should, go talk to them and try and fix. No, fuck that. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Now, and here's the thing. If they choose to come back, they have to prove themselves. Mm-hmm. That's the other thing. Don't just let somebody who walked out of your life and tries to come back just in and open that door and be like, oh, it's you. Hey, I miss you. Come back. And we're just like we were before. they need to prove to you that something is different.
Right.
If they're going to be in your life, that they can match up with where you're going. Don't let somebody, 5 years ago left your life and you're in a new place and they come in and you come back down to where you were 5 years ago. Don't let that happen.
Right.
Move on, move forward. If they try to come back in your life, there should be a trial period.
Yeah.
Just like with a piece of software
30 days.
Or a job.
Yeah.
What's it called in the job where they, like 90
like
90
a temp,
days?
Like a temp service or something.
Yeah,
or like
it's like you're on probation.
Trial,
you're
probation.
You're on probation. You're on a probationary period. If you try and come back in my life after if it's like an hour after that and you come and apologize to me, that's one thing. I'm not gonna be like, no, fuck you. You're on probation. No, no. But if it's been a while, you're on probation with me, baby. And I say baby because it sounds like ladies, but it's friends too. Friends, family, everything. You're on probation with me at that point.
For sure.
And so you have to prove to me that you have to earn the right to follow me on this path I'm on now. Right. You don't just get to like interject. It's like I'm at the finish line. You're like, yeah, and you're like, yeah, we won. Fuck you.
Who's we? Because like in 5 years, you can either stay the same, you can be stagnant, or you can be a completely different person.
Absolutely.
The person that I am now refuses to deal with the people that I was hanging out with back then.
Absolutely.
Because your growth is too important. Your energy is too important.
Oh yeah.
And you should be protecting your energy more than you are caring about somebody else's feelings. I got a call months ago from a guy that I used to kick it with back in the day, and all he wanted to do was complain about the shit he was complaining about back then. And after that I was like, oh man, I'll talk to you later. Block. Like I can't do it no more.
Probation denied.
Going back to the corner.
Yeah. Number 9.
Last one for this one. So resentment and complaint are appropriate neither for oneself nor for others. Exactly what I was just saying. See, the amount of we just so good at this. The amount of mental and physical energy we expend complaining can be used for greater things. When we complain, we are asserting and reinforcing reality which we inherently oppose. Mm-hmm. We just talked about this month. What?
I gotta go first.
Go ahead.
I gotta go first.
Please.
I gotta set this. And hopefully I'm setting you up. I'm setting you up for something. Don't complain about shit you're not willing to do something about.
Yes.
If you're not willing to change, well, don't complain about it.
Exactly.
It's like if you're complaining about your relationships, if you're complaining about your job, if you're complaining about your situation that you find yourself in, that you created, don't complain about something you're not actually want to do something about that. You have no reason to complain about it.
Right.
No reason. Because all you're doing is reinforcing that you are exactly where you are right now. Mm-hmm. The last thing that should come out of your mouth is like, well, what do I do about it? If you're not wanting to do that, I ain't got nothing for you.
There's a quote that I read recently that was like, life comes from you, not at you.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like everything that cause and effect.
I always heard life comes through you, doesn't happen to you. So same thing.
Same thing.
I like
it. There's a cause and effect to everything. If you can happen to meet somebody who becomes a toxic partner. It starts out cool. Turns out they're a toxic partner. Mm-hmm. You met them. That's the cause. The effect is once they showed you their true colors, you chose to stay. Mm. You chose to continue on with whatever behavior that you found acceptable. And people do to you what you allow.
Yeah.
So that's the turning point, is that you need to stop thinking, if this is your case, you need to stop thinking that things are happening to you. They are coming from you, because whatever happens, whatever causes it, or whatever effects are coming out of whatever situation you are in, by choosing to stay there, you are saying this is okay. Mm-hmm. By turning that energy into something positive where you are making changes, it goes back to the first one.
Yeah.
You have to then audit whatever is happening to you and then make the necessary changes so that it stops happening to you. Exactly. And one thing I would love to talk about in the future is living in the end. Mm. By living in the end goal of whatever it is that you're trying to change, you are better able to put up with whatever is happening to you now. Stop it. So it is a matter of, but it's a matter of changing your perspectives on things.
Yeah.
If you go from, oh, woe is me, everything is happening to me, and start doing things, okay, what did I do to cause this?
Yeah.
How can I change the effectiveness of it? Then you start to be more solution oriented, which as men, that's our whole purpose. We should be looking for solutions to things, not trying to blame women or blame the job or blame our family or blame whatever other circumstances you want to bring about. It's really about you. And you should be the center of your own universe. If you are not the sun in your solar system, that is where you need to start. Everything feeds off of you. Everything comes from you. You are the light. You should be you should be the greatest strength or energy source in your life. So then move with that. Then be that. And you have to realize that whatever asteroids are coming in your solar system, you can observe it, you can destroy it yourself, but get your planets aligned. Whatever that means to you. Figure out, how do I want my solar system to operate, and then fix it.
That's a clip right there.
That's a clip.
Right there. Yeah, the other piece that I really wanted to touch on was, how can I put this? I'll put it my way. Some people put more energy into what's going wrong in their life than what's going good in their life. You ever met somebody who, like, in them telling you their problems, they are so fucking animated and excited about, it's like, and then this happened, and then the car hit my car, and then I hopped out, and the dude jumped out of the car, and he punched me in the face, and my tooth fell out, and and it's like, he's telling you the story, and you're like, whoa, bro, and it's like, his energy's on 10.
Right.
But then you see them maybe a week later, and you're like, hey man, I heard you got that raise, you heard that you got the promotion. Yeah, man, got the promotion, you came through, super happy about it.
Yeah. Are you?
Yeah. Bro, last week you were just telling me about the apocalypse that was going on 25. The dude ran you over, and it sounded like GTA.
Right.
So you made this whole movie script about it. It's like, but then you tell me something good that happens, and you're like, yeah, bro, it's cool.
Right.
I'm like,
where was that energy?
What's wrong with you? It's like so something great that happens to you, and you're like, yeah. And something negative happens to you, and you're like, yeah. It's like, what do you think you're attracting to yourself?
Right.
You think you're attracting, more of the good stuff that happens to you, or you think you're attracting more of the bullshit that happens to you? Because you're excited about the bullshit.
Right.
You're going to get what you're excited about.
Right.
If you're excited about the bullshit, you're going to get more bullshit.
Right.
If you're excited about the good things that happen in your life, and you're hyped, and you're, getting all the things that you did, and you're excited about that, you're pumped, you're on 10 on that, and the stuff that you don't like, you don't feed, you don't give energy to, your life is going to move a certain way.
Right.
It's like this. I've met them, and it drives me absolutely insane when I see them. I'm like, do you hear how excited you sound telling me how horrible your life is?
Yeah. People get real amped about their problems.
I was like, why do you sound happy about this?
Right.
It's like, your wife left and shot your dog, and you sound excited. It's like something feels wrong.
Sometimes it's just a reaction. When the bad things happen, when you're so used to bad things happening, you give energy to that, because that's all you can see is the black holes and the asteroids and the space invaders and shit like that.
Why be excited about that though?
That's all you know.
That's my thing. But it's like, you don't have to be. But
you don't have to be.
My thing is, like, if you know it. I've also seen people that kind of like hear all the time, like whatever happens, they are just always here. I don't think that's a great thing either. I think that might be a chemical imbalance. But but when you're, okay, all this negative stuff is happening, and you go here, and then something really good happens, and you're like,
you don't know what to do with that.
Something seems wrong with that frequency to me.
Yeah, some people don't know what to do with happy, and that's the problem. You don't know how to accept happy.
I think some people like fucking drama.
That's for sure.
I think they find it exciting.
Yeah.
I think it exhilarates them for some reason, and because of that, they get more of it.
Yep.
It's like, I don't find drama exciting. It does not excite me at all. I'm like, no.
I like when the drama's over.
I like getting what I want.
You know what I'm saying? I love getting what I want. But it's like, I like when, if I'm going through drama, I will be here with it, because I'm understanding, all right, shit happens.
Yeah.
But like my wife will tell you, like, I get amped when shit goes my way. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be, all right, this is a problem. We cool. We'll deal with it. But it's also what you got going on mentally. Because like we say, if you want to be aligned with yourself, thoughts, emotions, and actions, they all have to go together.
Yeah.
If all you have is negative thoughts and that's what you are fueled off of, those are the emotions that you give into. And it is a giving into. It's not a you choose what you give that energy
Absolutely.
to. So once that energy or that negative energy clings onto you and that's what you are giving your reaction to, then that's what the universe says, oh, this is what he wants. This is how he wants to react to things. I'll give him more of this. But when you're thinking positively, you feel it positively, and then your reaction or your response is positive, then it's like, okay, well, this is what he wants. And because it doesn't matter. The universe doesn't care what you want. It will give you more of what you want.
Yeah.
Period.
It's it gives you absolutely everything you ask for. It's like if you're driving down the road and you see a tree and all you think is don't hit the tree, don't hit the tree, don't hit the tree, you're gonna hit the fucking tree
because you're focused on the tree.
It was just so focused
you
on
focus
the tree.
on the tree.
Even though you're saying don't, all the universe hears is hit the tree.
Right. Right.
Tree, boom, tree.
Right.
It's just like that's all you hear. It's like don't fall down. What happens? You fucking fall.
Exactly.
Every single time. It's just like what you focus on is what you get. Yeah. So I'm saying this with love.
Yeah.
If you meet us out the street, if you meet me, especially me, I don't know about him, but especially if you meet me out the street, I don't mind hearing people's stories and everything like that. I love it. I don't even if but don't come to me with problems that you don't want solutions to.
Yeah.
Because I'm about that action.
Right.
About the solutions. If you come to me with a problem, be like, oh man, maybe you should try this, da 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 da. It's like I love giving that advice. I love getting that advice. But don't come to me with problems and you're just coming to me with problems.
Right.
Don't do that. Because you will get a look.
Right. if you come to me on the street, I will listen, but I'm not going to pay attention. Or I'll hear it,
he's nice,
but I'm not going to pay attention.
I will do neither. Because like you're asking me sitting there alone on a stump singing "Woe is me."
Right. It's like I saw back to Lil Duval. He posted something the other day that was like, don't sit by me sighing because I'm not going to ask you what's wrong. Like, don't sigh. Like, nah, I don't care, bro. But it's. I understand some people, they just need a listening ear.
Yeah.
And depending on my mood, I will give that to you. Yeah. But at the same time, venting I'm not gonna.
Venting is fine.
Yeah.
But you got 5 minutes, man.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna.
I give you 5 minutes. I'll let people know. It's like, all right, they'll start talking. I'm like, hey, you got 5 minutes.
Right.
You got 5 minutes of vent.
Then I'll start charging.
And then we can start talking about solutions.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you get up your chest, get that rock off but you got 5 minutes. Not get your rock off. Don't do that. But
what are you charging for?
Get it off your chest. Well,
what type of therapy you doing?
It's an extreme version of things. But no, you can get up your chest 5 minutes. But after the 5 minutes, we need to start looking at solutions.
Right.
After that point.
For sure.
Okay.
So again, men, especially men, be solution oriented. You can feel your emotions. Don't get caught up in them. So to recap, don't be jealous of anybody. Never let yourself be saddened by separation. It is a part of the game.
Gotta blow that motherfucker out.
and resentment and complaint are appropriate for neither oneself or for anybody else, because that will fuck with your energy. Your energy is gonna fuck with somebody else's energy, and that's not fair to neither one of y'all.
And then I'm gonna punch you in the throat if you fuck with my energy.
You know what I'm saying? So listen.
Takeaways.
Yeah.
Let's give them some actionable. Let's give them at least one actionable step.
Yes.
To take and actually use how you can implement this week.
Okay.
In actually changing this, and actually using some of these principles.
For sure.
So we're about that action.
Right.
Solutions. So, what would you say is one takeaway from these three? That if you were going to do any one thing, one nugget to give somebody, what would it be that they could actually go and do right now?
I would say audit your life. Figure out what you are putting emotion into and why you put that emotion into it. And if it's not positive, figure out a way to turn that into something positive. If you are jealous of your neighbor's car or whatever, whoever you look at that you say, damn, I wish I had that, figure out why you want that. And figure out how to get it. And ask questions.
Ask them.
Ask questions. Hey, man, how'd you get that car? How'd you get that baddie? What do you do? You know what I'm saying? That's a simple question. It's not even malicious or anything. It says, hey,
Yeah.
what do you do for a living? How did you get there? What made you want to do that? Figure out questions, because sometimes when you talk to people and figure out how they do things, it'll help you figure out how you want to do things.
Absolutely. I think that's a great takeaway. Cut, edit. We're good.
Cut the check. For sure.
Yeah, guys. So like we were saying before, I rudely interrupted him, but we
good.
always
It's
have
good.
to have that actionable step, man.
For sure.
Always.
For sure.
Definitely follow us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We're now on Apple Podcasts. Super excited about that. We're on Spotify. Your boys are legit. We're on Apple and Spotify. We're legit. No more, no more slumming it.
Right.
But definitely check out future episodes, man. We'll be coming with this knowledge, and like I said, always that action. We're always about those results and really trying to help men become the best versions of ourselves. That's the biggest things. It's like take some of this knowledge and actually share it, the things we're doing, the things we're learning, and actually just bring it to and help put the fight back into men, man, because there's definitely a war on that masculinity right now.
For sure. And it's better to be a warrior in the garden
than a gardener in a war.
Peace out.
All right, guys. See you guys next time.